The Southern Africa Telecommunication Networks and Applications Conference is currently underway at Skukuza Safari Lodge and Game Drive out in Mpumalanga. Now, the gathering is a leading ICT conference where industry, academia and operators share their views on latest trends as well as developments around the sector. And SABC News Economics reporter Nompumelelo Siziba is at the conference and joins us live with an update. A very good afternoon to you, Nompumelelo. So tell us all about today's gathering. Who is there and what exactly are they talking about?
Thanks very much, Alicia. Well, the who's who of ICT and telecommunications are here. And of course, they're discussing trends that they're seeing in the ICT sector. Artificial intelligence is the main topic of the day. It's all the rage because it's likely to shape our future, and it's already in our lives as we speak. Some people just don't realize it. The use of our phones, there's a lot of AI there. And then, of course, there's that new thing, Chat GPT. Some students try and cheat with their coursework by using that, and they get found out very quickly. So there's a lot that we use indeed. And one of the things that this conference does, it encourages undergraduate and postgraduate students to submit work where they basically come up with technological solutions to some of society's problems. And I'm joined by Professor Mehrdad Ghaziasgar. He's from the University of the Western Cape at the Department of Computer Science. He basically supervises a number of students who have submitted their work here, and I'm going to be in conversation with him about some of that. Thank you very much, Professor, for joining us. So tell us a little bit about the supervision of these students and how you conceptualize ideas.
So the conceptualization of ideas is really to read into the literature, engage with the literature, engage with what's happening. Things are moving very fast. It's a difficult field to be in just because of the speed at which things are moving. But it's about taking ideas and trying to, hybridize them, trying to put things together. But I think it also all starts from problems, identifying the problems in society that are the biggest ones. So a lot of our work is focused on assistive technologies to help people, the most downtrodden in society.
Yeah. You bring me to my next point. We are standing in front of this board, and you've got a special cane that has got magic to help the visually impaired. And I was really surprised from the, the information that you've laid out that 2.2 billion people suffer with visual impairment around the world. I think we've got a population of about 8 billion. That's quite scary, and clearly your technology could help many. Just take us through the board and tell us what that technology involves.
Yeah, sure. So the idea was conceptualized in 2015. We initially came up with a prototype. It had a camera, and the idea was to take in information from the surroundings, feed that back to vibrating motors, haptic feedback on the person's forehead to basically tell them what's going on in their environment, situational awareness. So fast forward a few years, I'm currently working with PhD student Nathan Naidu, and we've conceptualized this cane. He's built this cane. It is wireless. It is very robust. It's got a range of sensors. The special novelty of this cane is that it works directly with the system, one of the systems that the visually impaired currently use, Holland's model. So the visually impaired are trained to recognize what's going on in their environment in terms of personal space, near space, and far space. So it's got a range of sensors on it, and different sensors for different ranges. Some of them are built to detect near space, personal space, near space, and far space. And then the idea is basically to take all of that information from sensors and process it using AI to be able to convert that into meaningful information in two forms. One is situational awareness, what's happening in my environment, what are dangers and what obstacles are there, and the second is navigational support. So how do I get from A to B without the need for a dog, without the need for a human being assisting me?
Yeah. All right, Professor, I'm going to kick you out of shot and just bring in Rochelle Kutsia. She's one of the students that's actually working on this project and being supervised by the professor. Rochelle, just tell us about the work that you've been doing and what sort of impact ultimately you hope it's going to have.
Thank you for having me, first of all. The work that I've started doing was conducting a comprehensive literature review because we already have Nathan building the cane, and my job was to figure out where the artificial intelligence will come into it and play a beneficial role that hasn't already been seen. So far I've done a lot of research towards what can make ours novel and unique, and the next step for me would be realistically to put that artificial intelligence into the cane.
And just tell us about the artificial intelligence. It's a term that we're just using, but just tell us about how it's adding value to the cane.
To state it simply, the artificial intelligence will take the data gathered by the cane. So the cane has sensors that will gather data, and this data will then be processed via artificial intelligence to then provide the visual impaired user with either haptic or audio feedback on where to avoid obstacles. So if there's an obstacle in the immediate vicinity, the cane and the artificial intelligence, so to speak, will tell them where to move to avoid this obstacle.
That's excellent. Rochelle, thank you very much for telling us about some of your work. I was in conversation with Professor Mehrdad Ghaziasgar and Rochelle Coetzee. Of course, the professor is supervising Rochelle in this amazing project. And given the fact that maybe about a third, not a third, but maybe 25% of the global population experiences visual impairments, this sort of solution could make a massive difference to those people. Well, with that, it's back to you in studio, Alicia.
All right, Nompumelelo Siziba, SABC News Economics reporter there.